I had such a great reading month. I read so many books I actually enjoyed, and many of them were young adult books. And that is a sentence I honestly thought I'd never say again, especially after the beginning of this year. Hey guys, welcome to my June reading wrap-up. I finished 8 books, read a little over 1100 pages, and listened to almost 55 hours of audiobooks, which is a lot. I think this is the second highest number this year. And this was a month I did not join any reading challenge, even though there were many tempting ones. I needed a break and read in my own pace without any reading prompt restrictions. This is the cover page, and I was not sure what to do with it, but then I remembered this flowery packing paper I had, and it was decided. As always, I have the calendar on the left and list of all the books I read in June on the right side. And I am marking days I read each book in the calendar. It is in no way necessary, but I like the look of it, so I keep doing it. Have you guys noticed the new statistic I did on Storygraph? It is the average time it takes you to finish a book in the time frame you set. And it turns out my average for June is 9. So, on average, it took me 9 days to finish a book, which I think is quite good. My average for this year so far is 10 days, and it is so cool seeing something new like this. Also guys, I am so sorry for the state of my nails. They grown out so much and I had no time to go to nail salon. I am hoping to go next week because they are also getting too long and it's getting difficult to function normally. Okay, let's start with my least favorite books of June, shall we? These first 2 books were the first books I finished in June, and I almost lost the hope I will ever read something good again. Really. And I felt a reading slump coming, but thankfully it all got so much better in the second half of the month. I had absolutely no idea what to do with this spread. I flipped through all my stickers and washi tapes and nothing felt right. So I took my watercolor out and did this messy thing. I mean, it could have been worse. The more I look at it, more I like it. So the first book I finished was Bridge of Peace by Daniel Green. I wanted to try Daniel Green's book since I already backed him on the Kickstarter for the Witch's Sin. Why am I doing this in reverse, right? The Bridge of Peace is a mystery horror novella and it is clear it is his first book. Plus, there were some, let's say, unfortunate choices I was not a fan of, and I honestly finished it only because it was so short. It is his first book, I get it, and I only hope he will grow as an author. Next book I finished was Perfect by L.A. Kessler, and I chose this audiobook on Everand because they've hidden everything I wanted to listen to, and I had nothing to listen to, and this had such a good synopsis, so I gave it a go, and it was not bad, but also not good. It was a book, and I listened to it. It is about a girl who has to be perfect. She's never been outside, never had friends or attended school. She also never had a cold, a bruise or a scrape. Her parents are researchers, part of the secretive organization, and they have one goal. Utopia, in the sense that no one will ever lose another child to disease. And they want to achieve this goal through cloning perfect children, and any imperfect subjects are terminated. Yes, you get a bruise, you die. Right. I mean, no words here. One day she escapes and I was hopeful because by this point the story was quite repetitive, but believe me or not, it got worse. It was corny and cheesy, and don't tell me the girl who has her whole life locked in the house in almost sterilized environment can easily form friendships or not get sick and just walk around the town like nothing happened. There were so many I can't say that word, inconsistencies. It is also categorized as an adult book, but at no given line it can convince you it actually is adult. Let's just say this book was not for me. Okay, next we have A Mother of Learning Arc 1. This is 23 hours long book about time travel, and I am suspecting I don't like time travel stories. I listened to this one because it kept being recommended on my Goodreads page and I loved the cover, so I gave it a try. This story is about Zorian, who is a student at Magical Academy. He gets murdered at the summer festival only to be immediately brought back to life and stuck in a time loop that lasts a month at the longest. For the entirety of the book, he is reliving this month over and over, trying to figure out how to solve this. It was not bad, but I don't think I can do another 23 hours of the same thing. If you've read this series, please let me know about next books. It is very highly rated on Goodreads, so I don't want to miss out on a possibly great story, but this was too much for me and all the time loops are just mashed together as one big mess in my head. Guys, I had so much fun with the next spread. Can you guess what book this is from this collage? It is quite old young adult fantasy and I'll give you a second. This book is The Raven Boys. Oh, The Raven Boys. Why am I so late to this? The first book came out 12 years ago. 12. I listened to The Raven Boys in June and I already read the second one, The Dream Thieves, in July, but I am going to put both of these here so I won't have to make another spread in July. I am not even sure I can tell you what the book is about because I just went with the vibes. Audio narrator is quite good, except I am not enjoying the accents, but other than that, it is okay. The writing is witty, full of good banter and humor, but it also does not shy away from serious topics. What I love about this series is that there can be the most dark and heavy scene playing out and someone says something so stupid yet clever and suitable for the situation. I can't help but laugh, and I laughed a lot. It is a story about a girl, Blue, whose mother is clairvoyant, and every year they do this ritual where her mother sees everyone who will be dead in the next year. But Blue herself never sees them. Not until this year, when a boy emerges from the dark and speaks directly to her. She does not know who that mysterious boy is, but he and his friends are on a quest that brings them to Blue and her mother. That boy is Gensi, a rich student at a local private school, and Blue is immediately drawn to him, but of course she can't be in love because for as long as she can remember, Blue has been warned that she will cause her true love to die. She becomes friends with this mysterious Gensi and his group of friends, and it's the whole shebang, and I had a great time. As I said, I listened to the second book already, which focused more on Ronan, another of the boys. And I liked it even more, and it made me enjoy the first book more in retrospect. I am definitely going to continue with this series, but as I said, I was listening to it on Everend and they took it down. I am so sad about it, so now I have to figure out where to listen to it. Or maybe I should buy the whole series. I am not sure yet. And guys, I printed everything on clear label paper so I wouldn't have to deal with precise cutting, and look what happened. I mean, the raven kinda fits the aesthetic even more now, but this have never happened and I have no idea why it happened now. Maybe because it is too hot in here. I am dying from heat just by doing nothing, so I guess the paper just gave up. Okay, last two books for June and I am so excited about the both of them. Sight is another older young adult book I actually enjoyed. Look at me go, guys. Honestly, after first few months of this year, I kind of started to feel I won't find good young adult book anymore. But these older ones are kind of saving everything. I kept seeing Sight in every booktuber's bookshelf and it sounded so good. I gave it a try and yes, it was good. I was already blown away by the first sentence and it goes like this. We must, by law, keep a record of the innocents we kill. That is such a good first sentence. The story is happening in a world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Now, sights are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. Two teenagers, Citra and Rowan, are chosen to apprentice to a sight, role that none of them wants and only one of them can get. The story is quite interesting. The twists were really enjoyable, mostly. There was thankfully not much romance between our two young teenagers, and the whole deal with them definitely goes in quite different direction than anticipated. Because this is a story about, let's say, professional killers, there is a bit of philosophical and moral talk, but it truly made this story better. I enjoyed this so much, I already bought the full series. Yes, to my defense, 2 of 4 books were on sale and 1 I bought secondhand. Last book for today is A Darker Shade of Magic. I am so glad I finally got to read it. I got the full series last year and it took me forever to get to it, but now I am so glad I have it so I can continue the series anytime. It is another young adult fantasy that's been around for quite a while and I loved it, which I am so happy about because what I learned about myself in this last year is that I usually hate or strongly dislike the most hyped books. The beginning was a bit slow as it needed to establish the lore and I abandoned this book for a few weeks, but it all got quite darker and more action-packed in the second part of the story, and that is when I started to enjoy this book so much more. I also made a statistic page and it turned out super cute. I am so glad my last reads overweighed the beginning of the month and of the year because I was honestly getting worried. I am thinking about doing the big mid-year statistics spread and maybe I will do a flip through of everything so far. Let me know if you'd be interested. I finished over 60 books and manga this year already, so there is a lot to go through. If you want to see more, here is the flip through of my last year's reading journal. I am really proud of that one. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.